Now, I believe pronounce her name Sade. 19 years old. She had hopes and dreams of things that she wanted to accomplish. But the worst mistake that she made ultimately ended in her life being lost. Her family still looking for answers. Do y'all know they're saying they may not have enough evidence to take to really convict him? That's crazy. What's good, Daisy? Make sure y'all like the stream. Her family is grieving. That's who I care about in this situation. I don't care about you hating heifers, pointing fingers. When I speak about these stories, I speak about these black women that have lost their lives. It's not a it's never that. It's a fact that a young lady lost her life when she shouldn't have lost her life. Just like what happened with Shanquella in Mexico, that should have never happened. And unfortunately for her family, those people will never be held accountable. And those were black women that took her life. But y'all don't hear nothing about that, do you? Here they go, you know what I'm saying? Using this situation to blame black men. That's just totally just horrible. And it shows the type of people you really are. Your people are broken. She meets this guy at a bar. Strange information. They go on a date the next day. Y'all know the dating coaches tell y'all to wait like a week to contact a girl. This guy was able to get her to go on to agree to go on a date with him within 24 hours of meeting her. The next day, he ain't waited a week. The next day, they went on a date. So what the dating coaches don't listen to what these guys saying. They say wait like a week, or you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You better set that date up that day. That's what he did. He was able to convince her to go on a date with him the next day. And you will look at this guy and you will say to yourself, what did she find in this guy that will make her want to go on a date with him? Is she into white dudes? Is that a thing? Maybe that's her preference. I don't know. Maybe she had a preference for him. But you can't tell me that if the dude was black and he was, looking like a black meth head, that she would give him a chance. I don't think so. But she did. That doesn't mean that she should lose her life. Her dating preferences should not cause her to lose her life. But I do think that she was very naive. This man is 33 years old. Now, maybe she likes older guys, but you got to be careful, man. A lot of these Caucasian, not just Caucasian, you have guys that are older that have ulterior motives, and he had an ulterior motive. He was trying to get her back to his house so he could do whatever. Now, maybe she wasn't into, getting physical with him, and maybe that's what caused her to lose her life, because he brought her back to the house thinking that he gonna sleep with this 19-year-old black girl, and maybe she wasn't into that, and that's how this started. That could be what it is. Shout out to Devon. Now we're gonna get into this article. This is what these heifers should be talking about, instead of trying to always put the blame off on black men, which is why they don't have a man. Have y'all noticed the women that talk the most crazy about black men don't have a man? It's because, either, they may have like this secret love of white men. That's why white men could do no wrong in their eyes, which is incredibly just pathetic and sad at the same time. As you can see from People magazine, it says body parts of teenager were found strewed across Wisconsin cities after she went on a first date. Suspect charged. Maxwell S. Anderson is charged with the crime, with the homicide and arson in connection with the death of Sade Carlina Robinson. Sade, 19, disappeared after going on a first date on April 1st. Her friends and family say Over the next several days, body parts kept showing up in different parts of, this is like out of a true crime story or out of a movie. The guy he dismembered her and scattered her body parts across this. That's crazy, man. Authorities allege Maxwell Anderson took her life and mutilated her before setting her car on fire to hide evidence. A man has been charged with the crime after the remains of a teenager went missing, were found scattered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and another nearby municipality. Authorities say Maxwell Anderson, who's 33, was charged on Friday in connection with the death of Sade Carlina Robinson, with 19, who went missing earlier this month, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said in a statement on Friday. He was charged with first-degree homicide, mutilation of a corpse, and arson. Online court records show. Earlier this month, authorities issued a critical missing warning for Robinson, who was last seen in Milwaukee on Monday, April 1st. The next morning, authorities were notified about a car fire near Robinson's home. So this genius blew up the car near his home. I told you, this guy's not very smart either. He's not very smart either. The outlet reported that the car was later determined to be Robinson's car because I don't think he had a car. That's why they were in her car. Per a criminal complaint obtained by Wisconsin Public Radio. Later that day, a human leg was found by someone in a park in, is it Kadahi? I think that's how you pronounce it, Kadahi. A municipality less than 10 miles from Milwaukee, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said in a previous statement. On Thursday, April 4th, the Sheriff's Office took Anderson into custody in connection with the recovered leg and announced the case was now a homicide investigation. The office said in a statement police did not mention the possible link between Anderson and Robinson at the time. The following day, the Sheriff's Department found another body part near the scene of the car fire, authorities told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel at the time. During the weekend that followed, additional remains were found near the site where remains have been discovered on April 5th per authorities, the outlet reported. In the latest statement issued on Friday, the Sheriff's Office now alleges that Anderson took the life of Robinson on April 2nd, then mutilated her remains and set fire to her car in an attempt to obscure potential evidence of the crime. According to the criminal complaint, Anderson and Robinson went on their first date on April 1st. They were seen at a restaurant where Anderson was a former employee. A bartender at the restaurant said that the two appeared to have a casual conversation before leaving together. Per the complaint, Fox 6 now reports. The two then reportedly went to a bar. Why is a 19-year-old allowed to in a bar in Wisconsin? Before heading to Anderson's home, the complaint alleges authorities tracked Robinson's phone, which traveled to the park in Kadahi, I think that's how you pronounce it, in the early morning hours of April 2nd. The complaint alleges, per the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, police arrested Anderson on April 4th. During their search of his residence, authorities allegedly found blood in different locations, including his bedding and the path leading to his basement, per the complaint cited by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. So you know what that means. If they found it on his bedding, we all know where the crime was committed. A GoFundMe has been set up to assist Robinson's family and arrange a memorial befitting a princess, reflecting on the beauty and grace that Anderson exuded in her life. The investigation remains ongoing. Attorneys for Anderson listed in court documents were not immediately reachable on Monday afternoon. Online records show he has not entered a plea and expected in court later this month on preliminary hearing. So the family has a GoFundMe. This is the family's GoFundMe. If y'all want to go and donate to it, they've raised $48,000. They had a goal of 30, but they have they've made over 48,000. This is some sick shit, man. So the crime, if I'm going to decipher this, the crime happened in the bedroom. And then I guess after he took her life, the other things happened in the basement, is what it looks like. This is these are the details that maybe some of y'all have heard, maybe you haven't. When I saw these, I just couldn't, this didn't really have to happen, but we don't know. Maybe we'll never know why she decided to go to his house in her car. Maybe that was a part of his plan to make her feel comfortable, is to have her drive. Because personally, I don't think the guy has a car. So you got this weirdo. This guy looks homeless. And you're going to his house. We don't know why. But this is the third time something like this has happened. But this is worse because I talked about the young lady from Connecticut. She met a Caucasian guy offline. She had him at her house. She lost her life, right? But I don't think he's been charged yet. There's another incident where a black woman met up with a Caucasian guy online, and met up with him, and she lost her life. And now you have this. In both of those other situations, I don't think those guys were charged. This might be because of the fact that he was a sloppy killer, is how he's going to end up getting charged. These ladies have to be careful. And again, I don't know, maybe she has a type, but the ladies got to be careful of the men that they meet offline. This reminds me of the video I did about the Jamaican woman who was a Instagram influencer. She met a man offline. That man ended up killing her. And I believe he dismembered her. He might have tried to dismember her as well. And he was on a run, but they caught him and they charged him. You got to be careful. And she had just met him offline. You got to be careful the men y'all meet online that y'all don't know. Now, it's different if you've known the guy, let's say for years. You've known him for years. You talked to him. You decide to meet him. But if you only have known of the guy for 24 hours, you might not want to go to their house. And you don't want to meet up with them in private. Shout out to Ernest.
They always give these sick demons the benefit of the doubt.
Appreciate that, Ernest. Yeah, and I don't. But these things are happening, man. These black women are losing their lives to these Caucasian men. But here you got black men being blamed for that. I'm sorry, we're not to blame for this. What this guy did was what he did. It has nothing to do with us. She chose to go on a date with him. She chose to go to his house. And there's different layers here. There's still some unanswered questions. Like, why would you go to his house? Did he ask her to drop him off? Because again, they were in her car. So maybe he asked her to drop him off and then asked her to come into his house. They had been at a bar. I believe they've been drinking. And he finessed her to getting her in the house. That could have been what it is. But still, you got to be careful of going to someone's place and you don't know them. Now, maybe she's done this before or had done this before where she's met guys. Because y'all got to understand, this happens a lot. You got these dating apps, these hookup apps. People meet each other that don't know each other. They meet up at motels or they go to each other's homes. And that stuff happens. But these two legitimately went on a date. Yeah, this guy is beyond dusty. This guy, you can see it in his eyes, man. See, I think I'm okay at reading people. That guy gives off vibes of he would harm an animal. You know what I'm saying? maybe she just didn't see that. But you got to ask yourself, why didn't she see that, you know? But she didn't. And that's what makes this case sad because, 19 years old, she had a lot of things that she wanted to do in life, and she's not able to do it because of this jackass. And I bet he's gonna try to plead mentally insane, that he's crazy, but that's not true because the guy had a job. So you can't say you're crazy when you had a job. You were a bartender. That's how you met her. This is what people should be talking about. Instead of trying to play some played out gender war, actually look at what happened here. That's what you need to do. Her family is grieving, and you're using this. What's good, Leilani? You're using this to attack black men. I mean, it's crazy. This guy looks like he would harm an animal. He would harm animals. He probably has. He comes. He's one of these. He came from a. Okay, what does it say? He came from a rich family, and no accountability in life, was a failure. That's why he was a bartender. Father was successful, but he was a failure. Maybe we'll never know why she chose to go home with this guy. Maybe she was into him. Maybe she, you just never know. Like, maybe she likes Caucasian guys. I don't know. But it don't matter what you're attracted to, ladies. When you got to be careful. And I say this all the time with men and women. You got to be careful who you meeting offline, especially if you don't know them. Right? Now, I did see where there was a report and they said that, he may have had the gift of gab. Maybe he did. Because the fact that he was able to talk her into going back to his house after only knowing her for 24 hours. But, yeah, so we'll definitely see what happens next. The guy looks completely insane. Guy looks crazy.